Assalamu alaikum. What's popping with the population? Let's have a conversation. Uh, this is another episode of Do-Rag with the Cape Road. I had a script for this, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to go by it because I don't feel like opening my iPad. And also, it's just been a lot going on, man. I got a fight this Saturday in South Carolina in Myrtle Beach. But that's not even what I'm worried about. Like, I got that handled as far as mentally and physically speaking. In the process of cutting weight, I was 170 pounds like a week or so ago. I'm like 151 waking up right now, going to sleep at like 148. So I'm right there. Like, I weigh in on Friday. I'll get the rest of this weight off before Thursday. But this is going to be a real quick one in regards to, I say quick one all the time, pause. But it'll probably be a little drawn out. But in regards to what's going on currently, like obviously you have what's happening in Palestine and stolen Palestine, aka Israel, as far as the people of Israel protesting the fact that the power structure hasn't taken a ceasefire deal because, I mean, if it's not blatantly obvious, they don't want the hostages back. They just want to do an ethnic cleansing. They could care less about those hostages. That was, if anything, just a way to make it easier for them to do what they was already doing prior to October 7th, but just, speed up the process. Especially considering the fact that if you look into how Hamas was able to get to the Nova Music Festival, which was a music festival happening right next to a concentration camp, an open air one. How they were able to get to that was because of a lot of failures by the Israeli government, Israeli military, but it wasn't really failures. And that's not to say that it was a false flag operation, more so to say that it was the arrogance of the Israeli military to think that Hamas wouldn't be able to attack them.
For months, Hamas trained openly for the incursion, placing videos online. The Israelis even obtained a detailed copy of the invasion plan.
Like all great strategic surprises, it was misread.
It is never the lack of intelligence information that leads to an intelligence failure. It's usually the broken intelligence cycle.
There was a woman in the primary intelligence collection agency who was responsible for intelligence regarding Hamas, who raised the flag repeatedly. And she got as high up as one could get, the chief of military intelligence. And he listened to her very carefully and said, yeah, I don't buy it. They don't have the capability.
And if you look at what Hamas really wanted to do, they just wanted to attack the military bases that were stationed around the gate that separates Israel from the open air concentration camp, which is Gaza, Palestine and stuff like that. Where the kibbutz and all that, those little villages of illegal and legal settlers, but mainly illegal settlers that are there. There's military bases around there, so that argument of like, human shields by Hamas, it's like there's nuclear plants in America, like in rural areas. That would technically be considered a human shield. Nevertheless, where those kibbutz that people got, who became hostage, who were taken as hostages from, they were near military bases. Hamas wanted to attack military bases. The military bases that Hamas wanted to attack, they thought they would be like, up and ready to go, like, have some kind of high, not necessarily high alert, but just be like ready for action. There's literal video footage of this. They pull up to the military bases. There's barely any resistance. I think they even liquidated some people in their sleep because it was so easy, so to speak. And then they were just like, what do we do now? And like, allegedly there was conversations of some Hamas guys like, yo, now let's go back. And then some other ones like, nah, let's figure something else out, and then that's how they ended up at the. That's how they ended up snatching people from the kibbutz, and then that's also how they ended up going to the Nova Music Festival. So, yeah, but again, this has been going on way before and after October 7th. The whole idea of a settler colonial project that is Israel happened in the late 1800s at that one conference with a bunch of people of Jewish faith that were European. Then you had the Balfour Declaration in 1917, and then in 1918 you had the Faisal-Weizmann Agreement, which was Weizmann was like some high-ranking Zionist, and Faisal was a king, Arab king, and they were trying to sort out like, yo, let's have some. We know that people of Jewish faith, y'all having issues here. There's already Arab Jews in Palestine. Y'all can settle. Y'all can, come over here, legally migrate over here. There's some European Jews that have legally migrated over here. There's already Arab Jewish people here because Judaism, again, is a faith, not a race of people. There is no race but the human race. So this one special race thing is completely insane. It makes absolutely no sense. And that's not being anti-Semitic. That's just being factual. And then even if you talk about anti-Semitism, technically what's happening right now is anti-Semitism when you're attacking Palestinian people because Arab people are Semitic. Yeah, but so you have the Faisal-Weizmann Agreement that falls apart because like Britain was like not bad. I mean, Britain was facilitating that because Palestine was a British occupation after Britain and them beat the Ottoman Empire. Then they took over Palestine. So people forget the hand that Britain plays into this. Britain was the one that helped out the Zionists with the Faisal-Weizmann Agreement. Supposed to be like, legally come over here. We'll figure this all out. Boom, boom, boom. And then Faisal he was just like, yeah, as long as, you stick to the terms and like nobody's like overstepping or overreaching or like trying to take away any autonomy from us, we could. And then they did that. So then, and now it started in 1918. So then you have now what's happening where they're still doing the same thing that they've been doing. Even calling Gaza a strip is a misnomer because Gaza was like a town, it was a city.
1948, there was no Gaza Strip. The strip itself is an Israeli invention. Gaza was a cosmopolitical town on the Via Maris, the road from Alexandria up to Alexandretta in Turkey. And because it was the main road on the sea, many people from different countries and cultures passed through Gaza. It also had a very good system of a coexistence between Muslims, Christians, and Jews. During the 1948 catastrophe, Egypt closed its border, and he decided that Israel is willing to give 2% of historical Palestine in order to turn it into the biggest refugee camp in the world.
They got bombed to crap because of terrorists, which are the Zionists, which are the people of, not all the people of Jewish faith. And because the British people that helped fund the Zionists, they aren't of Jewish faith. They just was like colonized. So you had that, going down. Also, I'm kind of trailing off, but I'm just saying, like, if you just do your Googles, just do your history, you realize that this didn't happen October 7th, as many people have said before. Now you have situations in America where there's people doing sit-ins and, protesting, exercising their First Amendment privilege because you have no rights if they can be taken away. You only have privileges. So exercising their First Amendment privilege and being hit with all types of like libel and like slander and like violence physically and like chemical weapons as far as like the skunk bombs in Columbia. At Columbia's campus. You have like politicians from the elected old piece of crap and whatever in Brandon or Brighton or whatever to like Fetterman's weird self talking about like this is bad, we need to get these people out of here, they hate America, like they anti-Semitic. And although you have people who are Arab there and Muslim, you have people who are of Jewish faith, of all backgrounds there, so how can they be anti-Semitic if they're protesting the ending of an ethnic cleansing, of a genocide? I don't understand. But then they're running game where you have the NYPD putting out video to promote the fact and glad hand themselves about like, yo, we stopped them from protesting. Look at us.
My God.
Whatever
the budget these pigs get.
Whatever you think you're gonna get here, though, you will never guess what happens around the 50-second mark.
There's no, if that's a sidewalk, like which sidewalk would that be?
Eating well.
That's the Amsterdam Avenue. So we got
They're in the situation
pounds
room.
are on that too.
This is the Osama bin Laden raid room, by the way, being used for the Columbia protest.
Exactly.
I mean, it had been used for like cracking heads and homeless people.
like a meteor is going to hit Earth, and they need to like navigate an expedition to land on it.
Right. Oh, but it gets real. You're never gonna guess the change in tone here.
You got some plan pro.
Stop a crime.
Individual pride in that matchup.
Do that. Okay? So these people are protesting. The arguments made by the politicians are all in line with the Zionist, imperialist, colonialist narrative. You have people like Tiffany Haddish talking about, I don't care about those people at this college, the genocide.
Right? I don't give a fuck about that shit. I've never went to college. Why would I care? Why would I care about college? Boo to college? Or boo that I never went? Or boo that I don't give a fuck about the college? Boo that I don't give a fuck about the college? Why should I give a fuck about the college? There's not genocide at the college. I give a fuck about what's going on the other side of the world, but why would I give a fuck about the college? Because of Africa? Because Africa is working at the college? Shut the fuck up. This is the shit I'm talking about. Stupid motherfuckers at the college. I ain't never worked a goddamn day in your life. Do you remember 9/11, bitch? No, forget about it. We were under attack. 11 terrorists blew our shit up. 3,000 people dead. What the fuck did we do, America? Do y'all remember what we did? If you're from the 1900s, you remember. We went the fuck over there. We fucked they ass up, didn't we? I went over there. I flew on a plane. I went over there and did comedy for the troops. I did do that. I did comedy for our American troops.
You don't care about that either, you idiot. I don't even know how she's famous. And I refuse to figure that out. And I refuse to think that she's funny. But, people like her and like a lot of other people who are like famous or whatever just shows you that hard work, because maybe she worked hard to get where she's at. Hard work doesn't equate to talent. Hard work doesn't equate to substance either. You can run really fast in place and break a sweat. And that's what I see a lot of people as. I see a lot of people as people that just run really fast in place. Message. And that's Tiffany Haddish. And that's a lot of these politicians. That's a lot of these people in all of these different offices. But you have these kids, these students, parents, everybody protesting. You have the Western media trying to frame it like, oh, what are they mad at? Like, what are we doing? There needs to be a ceasefire with the hostages. And then Hamas is like, oh, yeah, we accept the ceasefire. And this video of Palestinian people celebrating it. And right after that, the Israeli government bombs Rafah. So, yeah, man. This isn't going to be a long episode. And I don't even mean to make it dark, more just like the facts are that we live in a neo-feudalist society that is it operates through capitalism. And I say it's neo-feudalist because like there's hierarchies to everything. And when you realize that and you see who aligns with certain classes, you start to understand that it's bigger than rap. It's bigger than rap. Speaking of rap, shout out to Kendrick Lamar for doing God's work, because we need to get Aubrey up out of here. Him and everybody else who, again, just runs really fast in place. And it's not even necessarily because I think that Aubrey is a bad music artist. Like, I listened to So Far Gone and a couple of his other songs. But it's that I, like, for a long time, and just paying attention when I did used to pay attention to pop culture like that, was like, yo, this dude is a black man with a white mom of Jewish faith that is in blackface. There's multiple interviews of him explaining how he, like, you not necessarily explaining like directly, but like indirectly, if you listen to how he talks and how he operates, like how he's not really of the culture that he's infiltrated, like with the patois and the Caribbean language. Like, I'm half Trinidadian, so it was offensive to me when I saw the video of him talking wild about like, oh, they say mans. He was young when he said it. He was with his white friends when he was talking about like, yeah, you know, they say mans. I think that's ignorant. They shouldn't really talk like that.
This fucking short.
There's candlelight. It was really dark, really romantic. Got to know them much better, so it was fun. Do you have like your words up there that like are kind of funky and weird?
The guys at our school, instead of addressing people like the group, like saying like, "What are you guys doing?" Say "man's like you." It's really weird. Yeah. So "man's like you" are going to that, and then this means like the group.
Crew. Polo and undershirt.
It's really ignorant.
Oh, rude. That's rude.
No.
What? Rude.
That's fat. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's really ignorant.
These are old school, like.
Yeah, those are old school.
He said it twice.
These are old school.
Just for those who couldn't hear, he said it.
It's really ignorant.
It's really twice. Ignorant. He made sure to like. Yeah.
We don't talk that way around here.
But like, I knew he was. I was like, yeah, that's lame, but he was young. But then like, there's like a lot of videos of like him coming on to young girls and saying weird stuff to young women. Not young women, I'm sorry, literal girls. And people just let it rock because he made good music. I mean,
y'all gonna have me getting carried away again. I get in trouble for shit like this. How old are you? Oh, that's sad. I can't go to jail yet, man. 17. Why do you look like that? You thick. Look at all this. Well, alright. Well, listen, 17. I had fun. I don't know if I should feel guilty or not, but I had fun. I like the way your breasts feel against my chest. I just want to thank you.
really it's because a lot of people listen to the beat, not the lyrics in life, period. And I mean, like, and then just like with Dude. But like, yeah, you know, Kendrick Lamar exposing that, and people are like, oh, we need receipts. And then his song comes out, and it's like, oh yeah, I actually was planting the seeds to make you believe that I was like this. So you planted seeds of you being a possible essay person and pedo to throw off the scent of what? Huh? And to make matters even weirder and worse, like, with all of the influence and power that you have, Aubrey, you have said absolutely nothing about what's happening in stolen Palestine, aka Israel. And I'm gonna say this: when it comes to people who have celebrity, right, and have finances to do what they want to do, where they can basically remove themselves from like gin pop, you are obligated to say something at least. The fact that you are, he's not even coded, he is a black person, he's coded in blackface because he doesn't really mess with the culture like that. And that's, again, thank you Kendrick Lamar for doing God's work. But that you are half Jewish, you are half white, because again, Judaism is a religion and a culture. Black is, there's no race. But as far as you're half, we want to get us a nigga, everybody African. But if we're playing semantics and we're being pragmatic, you're half black, and if again playing semantics and being pragmatic, you're half Jewish. You, like your boy Khaled, who's also a weird cornball, said absolutely nothing about Israel Palestine. If anything, you got your dad coming out talking like, I don't think he should have to say anything type. What?
Drake's obviously Jewish. Does everything going on in the world hit really close to home for him?
Well, I mean, I'm sure it affects everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just totally ridiculous.
It is, isn't it?
It's totally ridiculous.
Celebrities don't really know how to use their platform right now because it seems like they'll get criticized about it.
If you say something about this one, you're going to get criticized.
Right.
And if you say something about someone else, you're going to get criticized.
So sometimes you think better to keep your mouth shut, or
just stay out of it.
You have mad influence, wild chicken. Granted, you don't make music about it. Like, you make music for children and for dudes that are sad and for guys that hate women and then for people that want to like party sometimes. And for ladies, I guess. I don't know, I'm not a lady. But say nothing about it and have the nerve to say that Kendrick is making music for trying to free the slaves. That's ignorant, fam. It doesn't work when you have nothing of substance. And then you also come from a subclass or a subset of people, a class of people who are going through like something huge right now in the news. It's very polarizing and you say nothing. But I mean, I guess it makes sense when you operate through that pedo lens because you don't want anybody to say nothing about what's happening, right? You creep. Like, yeah. But yeah, man, so you see these things lining up as far as like the way the power structure is. It's crumbling, but they're trying to scramble to figure it out. Just like Drake. We'll go as far as saying like, yeah, I planted the seeds about being a pedo and being whatever, and a SA dude. What? It's the same thing like all of the people that are in power saying all of this like, yo, what are they protesting? Why are they talking like this? Why are they doing this and the third? Come on, they should be all the anti-Semitic, yada yada. It's like, fam, you know we can see you. Like, we can see you. The lies can't flourish anymore because the internet is too widely available in the West that like the ability to get information is too easy. And there's too many people that aren't cool with being stupid. And then there's also too many people that aren't cool with the first answer. They kind of want to know more. Even if it doesn't get them to the right place, they still kind of want to know more. So when you have things like the Israeli government claiming they want to get the hostages back, then denying the ceasefire, then bombing the place that the West and all of them are like, don't do it, doing it anyway. You are undeniably committing a genocide. Without a shadow of a doubt. When you have people like Aubrey saying that he planted information about being a pedo as a gotcha, go to jail. Everybody, just go to jail. And I really pray when you do get there that they make sure your do-rag cape's not tucked. All right, peace.